Eileo guys, and welcome back. So with the Asia server being released, there's more players hopefully coming to the game, more than ever before, since this is pretty much like a global launch, and I figured I would touch on this subject, especially with the new patch that had dropped last month, where tier 6 equipment was also introduced in the game. But this video is just talking about exclusive weapons. So exclusive weapons are weapons that obviously you craft for a said character, like Jigglewoon. This weapon is purely for him. This is his main damage source, and it also gives us abilities for that specific character, and only for that specific character, that kind of brings out what they specialize in the most. So having an exclusive weapon is a make or break, especially in this game, because the offhand weapon is usually there just to give you a little bit more stats towards your main weapon, or towards the main stat that your character scales off of for their damage, or for their healing, or for the ability to be a great tank. But with the inclusion of tier 6 weapons, it's important to keep this in mind, that especially when you begin the game, when you pull it, well, not pull, but you can also pull tier 4 weapons as you can with tier 5. Actually, not tier 5, but you can pull tier 4 weapons along with your tier 6 weapons from the gacha, from the summoning shop. But if you don't pull it, you can always craft it. But this video is more geared towards crafting it, because when you craft it, there's a chance you could get maybe like an double S rank, you could get an S rank, you could get a D rank. And from what my philosophy is, and a couple of guys on Discord is as well, when you're beginning the game and once you got your first team together, like if I'm going to run these 5 characters, and I know that I'm going to pretty much stick to these 5 characters for now, when you're first crafting your exclusive weapon, don't worry so much about the grade of it, as I would just, choose to level it up. You could choose to invest in it. You can always go back later and craft a new weapon and get that one leveled up as well. But if you're crafting a T4 weapon, then craft it, use it. Maybe you'll get one later from the special shop. Maybe you'll end up crafting another one later and that one's better. But that's fine. As long as you haven't ascended it, especially to tier 5, then there's not so much that you invested in it to the point where it's useless, in my opinion. And grades do matter, but when you're just beginning the game, the difference between a D rank and a rank might be, I don't know, roughly 10% damage wise, or 10% healing wise, 10% tank wise. But it's going to just bottleneck your progress if you spending 8 months trying to craft this double S tier 4 weapon, when you could easily got one that was B rank. You could have easily got one that was B rank and just continue the game from there. So don't worry too much about what your grade is for your exclusive weapon, because you can always craft more. Once you get later on into the game, then you could craft maybe 1, 2, even 3 a day until you get one that you're happy with. You might pull a tier 6 weapon. There's no point for you to even worry about the tier 4 anymore. So all that sweating, all that time and money you put into trying making your tier 4 weapon double S rank, when you had an A rank that was perfectly fine, is not necessarily wasted, but it's kind of wasted as well, because you can feed it to your tier 6 weapon, but level 40 D rank and level 40 S rank, I believe, don't quote me on it, but when you feed it to tier 6, it doesn't care. It doesn't care. It's still going to give you the same value for it. So that's something just to keep in mind, because some players like to nitpick and trying to get the best thing they can. Once you're at a certain point of where you can craft these with ease, and definitely go for that, but I wouldn't worry about it too much. And especially with us being able to transcend our weapons now, so if you make multiple copies later on and you get the better copy, obviously invest in that better copy, but take the rest of those copies that you made and go ahead and transcend it. Go ahead and transcend it. I mean, that's the perfect use for them now. So any excessive exclusive weapons can actually get put to use. So don't forget about that feature. And then also the potential feature. With the modified potential, this is something that I was doing a little bit earlier in the game, mainly because I was pulling weapons that were just, like a D rank and C rank. And obviously it does have its benefits. It is very costly, not because of the gold, but because of your crystals that you have to use. And the amount of shards we can get from the raid shop, which isn't a big deal, but it's mainly crystals. These crystals are taking away from your chances to pull tier 6 weapons and tier 6 armor from the gacha shop. So do keep that in mind. But if you do end up going over here and trying to modify potentials, unless it's a tier 6 weapon, then I wouldn't worry too much about it once again, because like I said, if you invest it in a D weapon for now, you can always hopefully pull a B or an A grade weapon later on. And if you want to go back and tweak those stats instead, that's perfectly fine as well. I mean, what really matters here is just you having that weapon and being able to experience the game and being able to do blitz properly and get higher in the carriage escort so you can get more gold. And I do believe once an item has been transcended 3 times, that you unlock the ability to get it to SS tier for the equipment potential. So definitely keep that in mind as well. So for all the guys that want to nitpick and kind of make the best thing they can, and you know, this is luck only gave you an A grade weapon, well, here's your chance to go ahead and top her off. But that's pretty much it for this video, you guys. So essentially, to sum it up, if you're in the beginning of the game, don't worry about your exclusive weapon. Craft it, use that one, move on, wait till you're later in the game, craft as many as you want, pray to the RNG gods that you're going to get a tier 6 weapon, and again, move on. And do keep in fact that you can pull like a, you know, a D grade tier 6 weapon or a C grade tier 6 weapon or a B like my Gwen here, but you can always modify that potential as well, because chances of you pulling another one might be a little bit slim. But just keep that in mind as well, that you know, you're not necessarily stuck with that D grade weapon for the entire game if you're willing to sacrifice for it. But that's pretty much it for this video, you guys. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Please stop by on the Discord, especially if you're a new player, and I'll see you guys there. Peace out.